And it will take so much for the Super Spikers to be able to force a Game 3. But it can happen. They're 2-2 in this series, in this open conference. So we're just expecting another slugfest between the two teams.
It's unfortunate for Cignal that their worst game of the season came at game number 1. Kind of expected, especially with the pageantry of all the introductions. If it's your first time, and we've seen it before, Neil, you and I have covered hundreds of finals here in the PVL. We've seen it get to some players, and that might have contributed to the shaky start that continued on. Not that I'm making excuses for them, because they don't need me to do that, but we've seen it with different teams. While for Creamline Pool Smashers, the best game of the season was game number 1 for them. They looked sharpest, they looked healthy, they looked like they were on a mission. And here you go for game number 2. Gantler and a free ball given to Creamline, which is always a dangerous proposition. Cayuna reverses. Back to Santos. This is what Creamline wants. Counter-attack. That is where they are most dangerous.
They really thrive in counter-attacks and transition offense. So you have to try your best to break the block, beat the block, or at least target those corners in the zones of the Creamline floor defense.
Basta mahipo yung bola, sabi nga Neil, no? Tin with a self-cover, which doesn't work. And we said it at pregame, Neil. Creamline, probably in the history of the PVL, is the best front-running team that we've seen. When they have a little bit of a cushion, when they are ahead, they're so tough to beat. So Cignal has to recover quick. Touch
will be called on Creamline. The fact that Cignal was able to win against Creamline twice, that means that they can figure out what yung adjustments na kailangan nila gawin in-game, because every game is different. So the adjustments, these are not standard na paulit-ulit mo lang siya gagawin from the previous wins. You also have to identify the tendencies and the patterns in the current game to be able to set up better defense, because right now this crowd is going to be the fuel for the Pool Smashers.
No question. I know Coach Shaq knows that. And maybe avoid Gemma Galanza on the receiving end, because Gemma has been so sharp. Look at that pass again that she came up with.
72%.
Grabe yun. That's a long ball for Panaga. All right. Kyla and Lexi done an incredible job opening up our broadcast. So let's go back to one of them, Lexi Rodriguez.
Thanks, Groom. It's just me right here for now. You'll hear from Kyla later on, but let me tell you that, the Creamline Pool Smashers, we were talking about earlier, they know this kind of playground, they know this kind of territory, but what Gemma Galanza did tell me, every finals game and every conference is a different story to tell. There's no perfect story, but they've got their eyes on the prize. For now, they really just want to limit their errors. They just want to go back to the basics and perform at 100%. Because, Gemma was telling me earlier, she was listening to the song called Champion, and she was saying, kailangan mo kasi talagang ramdamin para ma-own mo yon. So you need to feel it in order for you to own it. And for now, maybe they're owning up to their title. Back to you, Dominion.
So far, so good for them. They got the biggest lead of the match right now, 6-3.
They have to tighten up their defense. We know that both Jel Cayuna and Gia de Guzman have similar styles of play. They love to play around with speed. The block touches will be crucial for the Super Spikers, because that girl, Vanny Gandler, has been on a roll. This is really her best conference so far. You really can't put a good girl down.
No matter what happens, as we look at the spike of the set, brought to you by Dunkin' Pasalubong ng Bayan. And no matter how bad they felt about game number 1, Vanny has a lot to be proud of. Not only game number 1, but the confidence, as you mentioned, did not shrink in game number 1. She took it. Now she needs support. Like that. Erica. Doug. Bonds.
Bernadette Pons really loves going to that hit out.
Specialty of the house, Neil.
mga quick movements lang, yung quick wrist action. Automatic puntos na agad for Bernadette Pons. That's the second time she has gone to that same attack.
It's like a replay. 7-4. Sharp serve to Vanny. It's another thing that Vanny has stepped up to. The receiving part of her game. She has really taken on the challenge.
Not so bad in game number 1,
No,
40+%.
not at all.
I would say that was an okay number. Lalo na siya rin naman yung tina-target ng Creamline pagdating sa serve. And that's something na hinahanap ko sa Cignal. Here in game number 2, we know that Jelka Yuna is probably the best server in the league. A lot of heavy float serves, and that is the most difficult serve to pass. And now, Cignal actually knows that the differential middle play kung Creamline, yung combination na yan, yan yung favorite nila eh.
Yep.
Tots Carlos, Bernadette Pons, Gemma Galanza,
Ayun, inabangan.
every chance that they get, they go to that same combination play.
Inabangan ni Tiamzon. So 6 serving 7. There's another one. It's going to bounce back again. Back to Gemma. Hits the antenna. And we're all tied up 3-0 by the Super Spikers. Serves it to Galanza. Tots fires one out, and they take the lead going into the technical time.